We used to just say things, and now we overthink every single word, right? I know you know the feeling. I told the story last week, and I want to kind of revisit it a little bit. When I was little, I was always constantly singing in church. And the first time I told you that story last week about how, all three of us boys, my two older brothers and myself, were there. And as the music started, I reached up and I grabbed the microphone and I pulled it down right in front of me. The thing about it is A, that was totally upsetting to both of my brothers on different levels. And B, everybody in the church thought, oh, it was just the cutest. I think on the one hand, we get away with a lot of things when we're young and cute and stuff like that. But the other side to it is we don't question it. Back then, I just knew everybody wanted to hear me. It wasn't a question of, I wonder if people want to hear me. I wonder what they'll think about this. All the things that we get up in our head constantly. You know that feeling too, don't you? Yeah. When did that happen? When did we get to the place where we started second guessing every word that was coming out of our mouth? When did that hesitation become normal, acceptable, and something that we expected to do? Right? I mean, there's two sides to this coin, because I've said many times, I like that moment, and I know every single professional speaker, singer, performer of any sort has that moment where they center themselves and they put themselves in service. Because when you go out on stage egotistically, that's when you trip going out on a stage. That's when, bad stuff happens. But that questioning of our worth, that questioning of our value, when we were little, we didn't question it. Now, for some of us, it's easier, right? We can remember the time that we were rejected by our parents or by a specific person or our first love or any of those kind of things. But I want you to think back for a minute. Go with me to that moment when you're that little kid standing there on stage or at the school performance or that kind of thing. Not with a question in your head, not I wonder if I could do this. I wonder what people will think. None of those were ingrained in us when we were that little. We just knew everybody wanted to hear everybody's here to hear me. We didn't think about anybody else. But now, it's like every word has to be right. We go through, we practice, we drill, we run through it, we do it again. Hey, ZYN, how are you? And even then, after we get done, and people are telling us how great we did, we go to ChatGPT or Claude or Grok or whatever, and we put in the whole transcript or the video of it, and we're like, tell me, did I do a good job? And most of the time, if we ask it to give us a real evaluation, it's going to give us some goods and some bads. Now it's like every word has to be right before we say anything at all. And then when we do say something, then all we do is just second guess it, just question our own personal value even at having the right to be able to say that. Do you find yourself dealing with that too? So I'd love to hear from you. When did you start second guessing what you say, even before you said it? Do you still do that? I want to hear your stories. Feel free to comment. Let me know, when did you start second guessing what you say? Do you even second guess it before you start saying it? I hope you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. That we'll tour together again tomorrow. Have a great week.